I've gone on record to say I absolutely love collecting and playing JRPGs. From their over-the-top nature when compared to Western games, the unbelievable stories that are character-driven and focused, and the unbelievable attention to detail on soundtracks and music that aid to complement the emotional journeys. I just love everything JRPG related, but JRPGs are very, very expensive to collect and add to your collection. They tend to be very niche, not appeal to a mainstream audience, and they also get released in a smaller print run, which results in them being harder to obtain and add to your collection, all of which contribute to a much higher price tag when compared to other genres within gaming. But on today's video, I wanted to highlight some more budget-friendly JRPGs that you can add to your collection, and today is literally going to be a challenge, pardon the pun. And I think with the recent success of Clair Obscur Expedition 33 and it being a true love letter to old school JRPG games like classic Final Fantasy games, and it probably being an entry point into JRPGs for a lot of newcomers, I wanted to do this video to highlight some more fantastic games that you can add to your collection without breaking the bank, especially if you just come off the back of playing the absolute masterpiece, which is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Like every CEX challenge that we've done on the channel, I need to outlay a couple of ground rules. So number one, we obviously need to try and stay within that £20 budget. Number two, I'm going to be focusing on Japanese role-playing games. The keyword being Japanese, so it has to be released from a Japanese publisher like Square Enix, Atlas Sega, or Bandai Namco, just to name a few. So no Western games are allowed. I'm not going to be focusing on any particular console. As long as it's a JRPG, then anything is game. The same goes for any particular genre, so turn-based, action, strategy, tactical, as long as it's got the sensibilities and the mechanics that make up a JRPG, then any genre or any subgenre within JRPGs are allowed. And we're also going to try and focus on games that I generally recommend and have played in the past, so that I can give you my honest opinion on some fantastic JRPGs to add to your collection. So with all that said, let's go and jump into the first CEX to see what we can pick up on this £20 CEX challenge. Currently walking into the Madness Centre in Wolverhampton. We've got two CEXs on this JRPG £20 challenge here. Always been a good one, to be fair, Wolverhampton, so fingers crossed we find some bangers for that £20 budget. So yeah, not after anything in particular, no consoles, just got to be a JRPG. So yeah, fingers crossed it was worth this drive. So yeah, let's go and check it out. Jumping into Wolverhampton CEX, got two Atelier games here which are heavily focused on crafting, so a bit of a different JRPG. Got the staple Final Fantasy games for the PS3, we've got Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2, and we've also got Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy Type 0 on the PlayStation 4. Tales of Grace's F recently got a remaster on the PlayStation 5, but for £8 it was definitely within our £20 budget. If you're not too fussed about the PS5 version or you don't collect for that console, then the PS3 version still looks like a decent way to play this old Tales of JRPG, so definitely one to look out for. Couple of Kingdom Hearts games here for the PSP and the PlayStation 4. There are so many Kingdom Hearts games, so it's common to find these collections here. You don't tend to find many budget Switch games, but Shin Megami Tensei 5 for just £12 is a decent value if you're into hardcore JRPGs. Just came out of the first CEX in the Madness Centre and we're off to a great start on this JRPG challenge. So I picked up one game for a console I don't collect for, but it's an amazing game. Played it on a different console. It's pretty much what started this whole thing off for me, collecting JRPGs, but we'll go into that story when we get back home. But yeah, just heading to the second CEX in the Madness Centre now. There's two. So yeah, let's hopefully keep the challenge going, keep the good vibes going, and pick up another JRPG on this £20 CEX challenge. Jumping into the second Wolverhampton store, got another Tales of game here and a couple of Final Fantasy games. Stunning steelbook for Final Fantasy 15, but way above our £20 budget. Final Fantasy 15 isn't too bad for £5, but definitely not my favourite within the Final Fantasy franchise. A couple more steelbooks and my favourite Final Fantasy in Final Fantasy 10 here. I absolutely love this game. Played it about 3 years ago on the Nintendo Switch and it's a brilliant game. Haven't got around to 10-2, but 10 on its own is such a powerful, emotional game. Highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't played this masterpiece. And then from one Square Enix game to another, got some Kingdom Hearts games here for the PlayStation 3 and a fairly cheap Wii U game, Xenoblade Chronicles X. This has been remastered for the Switch, but again, if you don't care about the latest and greatest, not a bad way to play a fairly decent JRPG.
So I just came out of the second CEX in the Manda Centre and we leave empty-handed. So yeah, no JRPGs that were really affordable for the £20 budget, but we do leave Wolverhampton with one amazing JRPG on this budget challenge. So next up on the challenge is going to be Stafford, so I'll catch you when we get to Stafford. The first game we picked up from Wolverhampton CEX for just £6 was a copy of Tales of Arise. Released in 2021, Tales of Arise is the 17th mainline entry in Bandai Namco's long-running Tales series, and it's easily one of the most accessible games within the franchise for newcomers. Visually, it's absolutely stunning, using a beautiful painterly art style that gives the world a dreamy, watercolour feel without sacrificing on detail or flair. Gameplay-wise, Tales of Arise is very much a hybrid action RPG where you can control multiple characters, chain together combos to take down enemies, bosses, and I think this is a good stepping stone into the JRPG genre because a lot of gamers do have trouble with turn-based games due to the turn-based nature and find it difficult to separate themselves from the game and the actual turn-based mechanics. So I think Tales of Arise will definitely be a great entry point into the series. And for me, Tales of Arise is a special game because while it isn't the first JRPG that I played, we'll get to that one a bit later on in the video, it's the first JRPG that made me truly appreciate the genre and what everything is about when it comes to JRPGs. Before playing Tales of Arise back in 2021, I was one of those people that felt JRPGs were very weird, just some anime crap. I actually thought it was hentai, which if you don't know what hentai is, Google it, but please do it incognito and not while you're working. And I just felt like the games were very cringe, characters that weren't relatable, and the kind of games you definitely don't want to be playing in front of your partner or in front of everyone in general. Trust me, you know the kind of games. But I think after playing Tales of Arise, I truly understood what it meant to play an amazing JRPG. Great characters, a fantastic story all about freedom and unity, an unbelievable combat system with great depth that only gets better as you get further and further along in the story and add more characters to your roster. And for me, just an unbelievable graphic style. I guarantee in 20-30 years time we'll still be looking back at Tales of Arise as one of the best looking JRPGs to ever come out. Games like Tales of Arise or Borderlands that use that watercolour comic look feel is the best when it comes to graphics, and for just £6, trust me, you can't go wrong. So if you haven't got Tales of Arise in your collection, then definitely pick it up for just £6. Just made it into Stafford, heading towards the CEX. We spent £6 of the £20 budget in Wolverhampton, so got £14 left. So hopefully we can add some more JRPGs to the challenge. So yeah, fingers crossed Stafford comes in because it wasn't a close drive for me. So yeah, fingers crossed I got some great JRPGs as part of this £20 CX challenge.
Another £12 JRPG style game here, Digimon Survive. This is a visual novel / hybrid tactical RPG set in the Digimon universe with a horror vibe. So if you're into Pokemon or Catch-em-on kind of games, then this one might be worth looking into, and for £12 it isn't badly priced. Found some classic PlayStation 2 JRPGs in Final Fantasy X, X-2, and the stunning artwork of the original original Kingdom Hearts for PlayStation 2. I love the metallic finish on this game, just stunning, absolutely beautiful artwork. Couple of budget-friendly Xbox Series X games here.
So just came out of Stafford CEX, and yeah, it was definitely worth the journey. Wasn't too sure, to be fair, because it was quite a ways out from Wolverhampton, but definitely worth the trip. Got a great JRPG for the Xbox 360, probably the best one on that system, to be fair. Not known for its great JRPGs, but this one is a banger. So yeah, glad to pick that one up. And I think we've still got about £10–11 left of the budget, maybe a bit less. So got plenty more CEXs left in us, and hopefully plenty more JRPGs to come. So yeah, I'll catch you at the next CEX.
Next up, from Stafford CEX, we've got one of the best JRPGs ever released. For just £5, I picked up a copy of Lost Odyssey for the Xbox 360. Released in 2008 and developed by Mistwalker Studios, Lost Odyssey is a turn-based JRPG directed by Hironobu Sakaguchi, the legendary creator of the Final Fantasy series. In many ways, this game feels like the spiritual successor to the classic Final Fantasy formula, especially from the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 era. It blends traditional turn-based combat with modern presentation and cinematic storytelling, and for many fans, it's still one of the best JRPGs never to leave the Xbox ecosystem. I absolutely love Lost Odyssey. It is without doubt one of the best JRPGs ever released, and it's a crime that so many people, even within the JRPG community, haven't experienced this absolute masterpiece. Got a great main character in Kaim, who is someone who is an immortal, and he's been alive for over 1,000 years, and the story follows him and his trials and tribulations, and it basically uncovers his memories and what he's gone through over his very long and difficult life. And the fantastic combat is something that is very similar to Clair Obscur Expedition 33, where it is turn-based, but you've also got real-time elements where, based on certain button triggers and timed attacks, you can do more damage, akin to Paper Mario and games like that. And the unbelievable music is fantastic. Here's a little bit of tidbit information about the channel. The end music on my outro screen is the victory music from Lost Odyssey. I just love this soundtrack, and I think graphically it still holds up even when compared to JRPG juggernauts of today's age. And for just £5, trust me, if you take anything from this video, then please pick up Lost Odyssey for just £5. It's incredible. It should be worth way more. It's a exclusive to the Xbox 360. It's backwards compatible. It can be played on Xbox One and the Xbox Series consoles. So please, even if you don't listen to anything else I say and you click off the video, just pick up Lost Odyssey. Trust me, you'll have an unbelievable journey.
So it's a brand new day and we're on the hunt for some more JRPGs. I think in total spent around 10, maybe £12 in total of the budget, so we still got a decent amount left to pick up some JRPGs. Just walking into Starbridge, so let's see what Starbridge has to offer.
Jumping into Starbridge, found a copy of Scarlet Nexus for £8 on the PlayStation 5. If you're into Star Wars, then this would definitely be right up your alley. You have telekinesis powers where you can force move everything, and it's supposedly got a fairly decent story, so definitely one to look into if you're into Star Wars kind of games. The absolute certified banger in Persona 5. This is my favourite game of all time, so definitely one to pick up. Another Tales of game, and as you've seen in this video, there are so many games within this series. This illustrates just how expensive JRPGs can be. Lost to mention here for the PS Vita for £55, not cheap at all. And the amazing cover art for Kingdom Hearts 2 here. Like I said, love the metallic finish, just beautiful stuff, man.
So got one more JRPG for the challenge, and it's a brilliant one, man. Love this JRPG. I think we might be pretty close now to using all of that £20 budget. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I had to pick it up, man. Probably my favourite game of all time. So yeah, can't wait to show you guys what I picked up. We've got one more CEX on this challenge, and that's going to be Merry Hill, so hopefully we keep the roll going and pick up a couple more JRPGs. Our third pickup on this CEX £20 challenge was a copy of Valkyrie Chronicles for just £2. Originally released in 2008,
Valkyrie Chronicles is a tactical strategy JRPG developed and published by Sega, set in a fictional continent loosely based on Europe during World War II. The game mixes grounded military storytelling with light fantasy elements. What sets it apart is its unique Blitz battle system, which blends turn-based strategy with real-time third-person shooting mechanics. It's an unusual hybrid that works surprisingly well and gives the gameplay a dynamic, fresh feel compared to other tactical RPGs. While I haven't played this game myself, visually it looks absolutely stunning. Got some fantastic watercolour graphics similar to Tales of Arise and Borderlands, and like I said earlier, these games hold up so well when compared to other retro titles, and I much prefer graphics that are stylized over modern realism graphics where every little hair follicle matters. I just love when developers try and create a more unique look rather than trying to make everything look photorealistic. And I've been recommended this game so many times by Fire Emblem and XCOM fans, so if you're interested in strategy games or you're interested in like games that take a twist and look at a alternative version of history, this game focuses massively on World War II, then this is probably one that you should look into, and for just £2 you can't go wrong. So even if you haven't played a tactical game before, for just £2 you haven't got much to lose, so trust me, pick it up, you won't regret it. If you do want to play Final Fantasy X, then pick it up on the PlayStation 4. And if you want something a bit more casual from the same people that brought us Lost Odyssey, then Blue Dragon is definitely worth a look. Got art by Akira Toriyama, the Dragon Ball Z creator, rest in peace. And this game is supposed to be fairly decent. Again, exclusive on the Xbox 360, so maybe you want to look into if you do enjoy Miss Walker RPGs. Final Fantasy 3 for the DS for £15, quite expensive, but pretty cool to see this reimagining of the classic Final Fantasy 3.
So I just came out of Merry Hill CEX and we got a great JRPG for just £2.50. So many hours worth of fun. Pretty controversial though, to be fair, so I'll be intrigued to see what other people think of it, but yeah. We've now spent up, we've got no money left on the budget, so let's take it back and go over those great JRPGs that I picked up on this challenge. Next up, I picked up a copy of Final Fantasy XIII for £2.50 from Merry Hill CEX. Released in 2009 by Square Enix, Final Fantasy XIII marked the series' leap into the HD era with a huge focus on cinematic presentation, fast-paced combat and jaw-dropping visuals. It's the 13th mainline entry in the legendary Final Fantasy franchise and the first in a trilogy that would go on to include Final Fantasy XIII-2 and Lightning Returns. At its core, the game is about a group of characters branded as outcasts called the Sea, trying to defy their fate in a world ruled by godlike entities known as Foul Sea. Yeah, I know, very JRPG, where you're fighting God himself. Final Fantasy XIII is a very unique game. It had a very interesting combat system where you're using something called the Paradigm system, where it's again very action orientated, it's not turn based, and it plays very similar to a rhythm game where based on what's happening, if you need to deal more damage you can change your paradigm. If you need to take a step back and be more defensive, you can change your paradigm. And I really enjoyed it, and it does take a little bit of time to click and get used to, but once you get used to it, it does feel very strategic and it does offer a lot of opportunity to strategize. And Final Fantasy XIII for me is such a special game because it is the first JRPG I played back in 2015, and for me it holds such a special place in my heart. I've got tons of nostalgia for it, and it's probably why I love it so much. It was the first game I ever played within the genre and the first Final Fantasy game I ever played, and I'm going to come to its defense because Final Fantasy XIII gets a lot of slander, especially from main fans within the Final Fantasy franchise, and I get it. So a lot of people complain about how linear it is, and it does definitely feel very linear at the start where you're going down hallways. There's no real path to go left or right, you just go down a corridor. There's maybe a chest, but apart from that there's nothing else to see on your way to the next objective. But after about 20 or 30 hours, once you get to Grand Poles, it does definitely open up, so trust me, stick with it. It's a great game, and
Final Fantasy X, which is my favourite Final Fantasy within the series, also plays very similarly at the start, where it's quite linear. So this one being the best game in the series, the linearity didn't hurt it, and it shouldn't really hamper your experience with Final Fantasy 13. Another thing, and I do kind of agree with this one, that fans don't enjoy with this game is the overly complicated and convoluted story and narrative. The game is very quick to throw terms like Valkyrie, Odyssey, Pulse, Cocoon, Grand Pulse, and it just becomes very much at the start. Thankfully, there is a glossary, so if you get stuck or you want to find out who is what and who said what, you can look at the glossary. But yeah, it is very confusing and there's a lot of terminology thrown your way. But look, this game is 80 hours long. You're not going to get everything at the start, so stick with it, and come the end of it, it does come together in a decently coherent story, and it is the first game within the trilogy, so I really enjoyed it, and that ending is very, very emotional, so stick with it. It's a great narrative. It just takes a bit of time to understand what's truly happening. The third thing that fans take umbrage with, and the thing I probably agree with them most when it comes to this game, is the cringy character. So apart from Lightning, who is a fantastic main character, you got Snow, who's your typical over-the-top bombastic character. He's quite cringe and says a lot of cheesy things. You got Hope, who is okay, I guess, but doesn't really develop much apart from his little revenge story. And then you've got Vanille, who's probably got the most annoying voice when it comes to any JRPG and within gaming in general. Yeah, that voice is so grating on the ears.
Well,
that's
And after 80 hours, you just want to be done with it. But I came to enjoy the campiness and the over-the-top cheesiness when it comes to the dialogue. Again, it goes back to this being my first JRPG, so I'm always going to be slightly biased, but for £2.50, I'd highly recommend jumping into it. If you haven't played a Final Fantasy game before, it's a great entry point into the series, and what have you honestly got to lose for just £2.50? So even though we technically got no money left, I think we got £1.50 left of the budget. I saw this game at Starbridge CEX and I just had to pick it up because I want to recommend it to more people and I just want to sing its praises even more. So I picked up a copy of Persona 5 on the PlayStation 4 for £8. Developed by Atlas and released in 2017, Persona 5 is widely considered as one of the greatest JRPGs ever made, earning a Metacritic score of 93, and its enhanced re-release, Persona 5 Royal, scored even higher at 95 when it dropped in 2020. In this game, you play as a high school student who becomes a phantom thief, diving into surreal realms called palaces, distill the distorted desires of corrupt adults and change their hearts. It sounds wild, and it is, but with its over-the-top dungeon design, fantastic combat, just yeah, one of the best in class when it comes to turn-based combat, the massive emphasis on social elements, Persona and Persona 5 is just a great JRPG, and personally, it's my favourite game of all time, hence why I had to pick it up. So I played this game back in 2021, its re-release, Persona 5 Royal, and I played it after finishing Tales of Arise, and I had 2 weeks off from work over Christmas and I finished the entire game, and that takes some doing because this game took me 120 hours. I grinded the hell out of this game for 6 to 7 hours a day, and I'm not ashamed, but it was time well spent. I absolutely loved it, and still to this day I probably never played a game with quite so much style and just general class about it. Everything just jumps off the screen. The menus aren't just basic UI menus, they've got so much style and flair in, and every opportunity is just an excuse to just show off some more fantastic art, play some fantastic songs, and everything about this game is just pure JRPG class. Like Lost Odyssey, this is one of the games that is a must play for any gamer, regardless of if you're into JRPGs. It does have some tropes and some over-sexualization when it comes to certain characters, but yes, picking it up did technically break our £20 budget, but nah, I couldn't just sit there or stand there and just leave it on the shelf. I needed to pick it up and recommend it to you guys. And if you've got the budget and you really want to play the best version of Persona 5, I would recommend jumping for the Royal game, or Persona 5 Royal, which is the re-release. Atlus have a habit of re-releasing games with more content, more dungeons, and just more stuff in general. And Persona 5 Royal added a great additional third semester, a great villain with a very ambiguous question at the end, and one of the best villains within gaming. Loved it. But if you're just interested in the base game, this is still a fantastic way to experience one of the best JRPGs ever made. And there we have it, 5 incredible JRPGs, all from CEX on a budget of just over £20. What blows my mind is the amount of bang for your buck that you get with these games. These games here, there's probably 300-400 hours worth of content if you want to see everything that the games have to offer. I mean, in a day and age where we've got £70-80 games, you can't go wrong being a JRPG collector, and it's definitely one of the reasons why I cherish this genre. Whether you're brand new to the genre or a seasoned veteran who's been playing JRPGs for 25 years, I really hope this video gave you some value and hopefully recommended some new JRPGs to add to your collection. And now, as a thank you for all of the support and the interaction, and to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the Collector's Quest channel, I'm going to be doing a giveaway, and I'm also going to be throwing in this cool copy of Final Fantasy 13-2 for the PS3, which comes with this cardboard sleeve. Cost me £5 from Starbase CEX, so we're going to be throwing that in with the giveaway. So to enter the giveaway for some amazing JRPGs, here are the rules. So you do need to be based within the UK due to postage. 2, you need to make sure you like this video. 3, you need to make sure you're subscribed to the Collector's Quest channel. And 4, you need to leave a comment down below saying, I want those sweet JRPGs. Doesn't matter how you comment it, just make sure your comment has somewhere in the comment, I want those sweet JRPGs. Like always, we'll let the giveaway roll for a couple of weeks and I'll announce a winner on an upcoming video, so good luck to everyone. And while you're down there in the comments entering that giveaway, if you haven't done so already, then please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the Collector's Quest channel. Friday's video is going to be a great one. Got a mega CEX haul where we spend all of those sweet vouchers, so trust me, you're not going to want to miss that one. And as always, good luck on your game hunts and collecting adventures. Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll catch you in the next one.